Hey everybody, welcome to our special interview here at LS Tractor. My name's Justin Tyler, and today I have the pleasure of chatting with CJ from the Mallard 5+1 Farmhouse. Today we're going to talk about CJ's journey, starting out with an LS Tractor, becoming a popular influencer on YouTube, and eventually an influencer for our brand. We're excited to hear more about his story, the growth of his channel, and his thoughts on being part of the LS Tractor family. CJ, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, so looks like you're in your barn there, right by your tractor. So would you mind just kind of, let us know how this started for you, kind of what drew you to an LS tractor and kind of how you got started with the brand?
Sure, sure. Yeah, you know, I've been around them for a good while now. It all started back in 2013. My uncle bought the very first one. He was the first one in our family to buy one, and then my dad bought one in 2014. So that was the first time I've ever even heard of LS, and I got to see them use their tractors. My uncle had a 41 horse, and dad had a 25 horsepower LS, and so I got to see them. Well, then we bought our farm here at the end of 2016. And then 2017, I started looking for a tractor. And I did everything I could to not buy what Uncle Mike and Dad had. I was started researching different brands and went and looked. But in the end, the for the for all the features of the tractor that I bought and for the price, I ended up buying an LS, and I ended up buying an XR 4040 back at the end of 2017. And so that's how it all got started for me with the LS brand.
And so kind of going from there, CJ, so how did your YouTube channel kind of start? What made you want to kind of, create content and, how did your, journey with your tractor influence the type of videos that you made?
Well, back then, I think I started my channel back in 2018, beginning of 2018. And back then, I noticed there was two channels that had high viewing tractor videos because I was researching that too for LS. And one of them had trouble with something, a frame or something, and the other one he had his in the shop, and I was seeing bad stuff about Ellis, and I said, well, this doesn't make sense because my dad and my uncle they haven't had any trouble with theirs. So I just bought the XR 4040, and I said, you know what? These guys are putting bad videos out for LS. I'm going to make my own channel and just show what I'm doing, and whatever happens, happens. I'll show it. And so I started it there in 2018. And I don't want to jinx myself, but the XR 4040 is still running. I have had no issues with it. Here we are almost 7 years later.
So CJ, how many hours does that original XR have? You said it's still in the shop. You're still working it weekly.
Well, with that tractor, it hasn't gained the hours that it normally would have because I've been using the ones that you guys have been sending, but it's over 250 hours now. And like I said, there has been no issues at all. I really like that tractor. It's been a good tractor. They don't make that model anymore, but that is a good tractor. And it just shows, LS makes a good product and has for a
Yeah,
long
especially
time.
since you said, your a couple of your family members had them, so they kind of had their proof of concept, and the same for you. So kind of yeah, kind of working into the partnership with LS. So how did the partnership with LS Tractor and yourself come about, and what has been your experience, working with us before, for a brand that you were a customer of originally?
Well, it started, I actually made a video a while back, and it was one of my best performing videos. That's how I knew things were going to get going with the channel. And I actually consulted, I think there were different people there at LS at the time. uh, Everyone was asking me where are LS tractors made. So I said I'm going to make a video about that. So I started messaging on Facebook Messenger, and I don't know who I was talking to at the time, but I was just confirming what I thought. They were made in South Korea, and then the parts are shipped over to the United States and then put together. And so I made a video about that, and then that video got a lot of views, and that's when I started knowing, the channel might actually have a chance because people want to know about the LS Tractor brand and know, where it comes from and is it a good brand. And so that's when I first knew I think the channel is going to do good with showing the LS tractor videos.
Yeah, and so kind of once that, developed, did LS sort of, recognize your videos, and kind of how did that come from that the
Yeah,
initial recognition to, being partnered with LS and creating content and all the stuff that you've shown on your channel so far?
yeah, that's how we first started talking. And then after that, I just kept making my own videos. Well, I made another video, and it was titled "LS Tractors Are Junk, Right?" Question mark. And that video was a video of me doing all kinds of different jobs with my XR 4040. And after I made that video, uh, someone from LS reached out and said, "Hey, we really appreciate you, supporting the brand and showing that the brand is good." Because, like I said, there wasn't that many at the time saying good things about LS, and I didn't understand it. So they said, "We want to send you a cooler." And so they sent me an LS tractor cooler, and I thought that was pretty neat. I messaged back. I said, "Thanks a lot. It's nice to be recognized for the videos and all that." And then after that, they said, "We think we're going to be interested in working with you. Would you be interested in that?" And that's every YouTuber's dream, especially when you make tractor videos, to partner up with a brand that, like I said to my wife, I think it works for us because I started out with an LS, and so I'm not, like switching just because of a deal. And that's why it meant so much to me, because we started out with an LS, and then you guys reached out and wanted to work with us. That meant a lot. And as far as how it's been wonderful. You guys treat us like family, and that's how I feel about you guys, family and friends. And hopefully you feel the same way. And it's been a blessing for my whole family and for our channel.
Yeah, no, yeah, like you said, it was very, genuine, authentic. You had already used our product. It wasn't just the tractor appearing on your channel. You had, proof of concept from your use. And, for anybody who hasn't seen CJ's channel, you can check out all the projects he's done, all the new models he's tested. You've definitely got a lot of hours in the seat from a lot of the stuff we've sent your way.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're up to 5 tractors have been here now, I think, if I'm counting right. So yeah, we've got to use a lot, and yeah, we did that testing. That was a challenge, but it was fun at the same time.
Yeah, 100 hours in a month in a tractor is quite a bit, and you made it happen. So kudos to
Yep.
that. But nothing that needs to happen again for the next batch for a while.
Yeah, that's good. That was a challenge for sure. But
So kind of wrapping up here, CJ. Looking ahead, do you have any special plans for your channel, and how do you see your ongoing relationship with LS? Obviously, you're still working with us, making content. So what does the kind of rest of the year and new year look like for your channel? Any projects, things you have planned that you're working on now?
well, you know, we got an old farm here that we're trying to build it back, I guess, and trying to make it better than it ever was. And so I have no lack of projects. The problem I have is time and money. But with this farm, our big project this year was to start making our own hay. And we did. We went out and bought an old square baler and old hay equipment, and we got that running. And then we were able to make our own hay. So that's one step to like 3 steps of what I want to do before we start getting our own uh, livestock. But yeah, I mean, I've got all kinds of projects. Something that really needs done. I'm sitting in my barn right now, and this barn, it burned down back in the 50s, and then they rebuilt it. So this thing is getting pretty old. It needs some work done to it. I don't know if that'll happen next year or not, but that's something that needs to be done. And now that we're making our own hay, we need fencing put in around the property. And I want to do rotational grazing with whatever livestock we end up getting. So, like I said, there's no lack of projects. I always have an idea of something else I want to do. My wife gets irritated with me because I'm all over the place, but that's what you have to do with a YouTube channel anyway. I try to make it to where you don't get bored with the same stuff over and over. Plus, coming up here, we got a pumpkin festival to go to. We grew a 300-pound pumpkin. And then we'll be going to the Paul Bunyan show because we heat our home with firewood. So we're always into that. And plus we're trying to sell firewood bundles. Like I said, I'm all over the place, and I just try to enjoy the 50 acres that we have and we've been blessed with, and try to do everything that I can on it.
Yeah, you definitely, yeah, for anybody unfamiliar with CJ's channel, it definitely keeps it interesting. There's always, there's always different themes and, different projects that, people can relate to. So yeah, we appreciate your time, CJ. So for anybody who doesn't follow you, where can they find you on all your social channels?
We're on YouTube. It's Mallard 5+1 Farmhouse and Homestead, and then we're on Instagram, Facebook, and I'm even on Rumble too if people like to get on there. So
Awesome. Well, thank you, CJ. Like you said, that's where you can find them. Mallard 5+1 Farmhouse everywhere. We appreciate your time, CJ.
yeah, I appreciate you for having me. This was fun.